Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we're going to begin taking a look at some beers from the Kyoto Brewing Company, and I have a set which I just purchased called the Golden Week set, and it consists of 4 beers, and I will be looking at them in turn. Kyoto Brewing Company started in the city of Kyoto, which is the ancient capital of Japan, in 2015. And so they're just about now on their 5th year, what would be their 5th anniversary. In this time of coronavirus, though, there's no celebration event whatsoever. But it was just about 5 years ago when they first came out, and I believe it was at the Kyoto Beer Festival. I'm not sure exactly, but in any case, 2015, and right out of the blocks, they were, making great beer. They were, in the following year, they were selected as the best new brewery in Japan on RateBeer. And in fact, last year, for 2019, they were ranked as the best brewery in Japan. So a lot of breweries, come out with a splash and then kind of rest on their laurels, and Kyoto Brewing has not done that. They've consistently been good, and they currently have I think 148 beers listed on RateBeer. There may be a few more on Untapped, I'm not sure, and I've had about half, not quite half of them. So this is part of, we're going to look at their Golden Week set, and they have other sets now. Because of the time of coronavirus which we live in, sales are way down, and Kyoto Brewing got their online sales going and bottling going as well. In the past they had just three main beers that were bottled. There are 3 regular beers that were bottled, but currently I just saw today that they are up to 11 varieties bottled, and they have a selection of sets that you can buy online. The Treasure set, the Garden Den set that you can buy online, and so they've been bottling a lot of those things, and those beers are special beers. The Golden Week set is a few specials and a few regulars, I think, and the first one we'll look at is more or less a kind of a regular, I won't say an ordinary beer, but a regular beer for them. Kyoto Brewing, the management consists of three foreign guys, non-Japanese guys, and they are an American, a Canadian, and a Welshman, and they all met many years ago in the far north of Japan, where they all worked on the JET program together. And I know all of them. I should disclose that, and I've known the head brewer for more than 10 years now. I knew him when he was a home brewer, and he trained in the U.S. and then did an internship at Lost Abbey in San Diego, and then in Shiga Kogen, one of the best brewers in Japan. So he worked at a variety of good places before they started, and he was always a very good home brewer. So they have many of these beers online now you can buy if you live in Japan, and I recommend you go out and seek them out. They are one of the top brewers in Japan. Okay. And now we will look at the 4th beer in the Kyoto Brewing Golden Week set. And this is a very special one for a number of reasons. It's a collaboration beer, and also it is their first beer made with Brett yeast. So it should have something quite different, something unusual. This beer is called Kyoto Brewing Godspeed親友との絆, which they translate as bonds of friendship. So you can see the stamp there for Godspeed Brewing, which is a Canadian brewery. And the brewer that they are working with at Godspeed is named Luc Lafontaine, and his nickname is Beam. I don't know where that comes from, but he had been brewing around in Japan and apparently wanted to go back to Canada did start a brewery, and he has now made this collaboration with them. He started, or he helped Kyoto Brewing with their very first brews when they opened about 5 years ago, as a kind of on-site advisor for the first few brews. And so they're kind of honoring him with this collaboration, bonds of friendship, showing some appreciation for the help that he offered them, and maybe the help he offered a lot of brewers throughout Japan, and probably still does. On RateBeer, this one has only one rating, and that is at 3.8 out of 5. On Untapped, it has only 7 reviews and no score yet, as of yet. Okay, it's considered a Belgian ale, or pale golden ale, and they call it a golden ale, definitely, at 6% and 32 international bittering units. The hops, the flavor and aroma hops are Styrian Goldings, Bobek and Czech Zatz hops, and bittering is Hallertau Merkur. So a nice little arrangement of flavor and aroma hops, and it should give it some interesting character, I think. They say that this beer is inspired by Orval, which is the classic Belgian pale Brett beer, Brettanomyces yeast beer. And if you've ever had Orval, you have an idea of how special it is. It's unique. There's no other beer in the world that smells or tastes quite like it. Orval, I have to admit, and I probably shouldn't, but it is not my favorite beer, but certainly I can appreciate how well made it is. And let's take a look at this. This is quite a large bottle for Kyoto Brewing. Okay, so it is very clear. Well, a little bit of haziness. Cannot quite see myself through it. So perhaps this is a little bit of chill haze. I'm not sure. Okay, and well, let's see what we get if we wipe off the haze here. It is more or less clear. There is some slight haziness definitely there. Okay, turn around the light, see what we get. Okay, carbonation seems quite mild in this. So I'm assuming this is very fresh. It just came from the brewery a few days ago. And it does have definitely a Brett yeast nose. Definitely some citrus there, maybe some other kind of fruit, something like apple. So it does have a nice, mild, not overwhelming, but a mild, stinky, barnyardy kind of note. Yeah. I would say medium strength Brett in this. It doesn't knock you out like some Brett beers do. Interesting flavors. You can taste the Brett for sure, or the Brett influence, and some citrus, stone fruit. There's some considerable bitterness, along with the breathiness. The bitterness is kind of complementing the Brett yeast and mid palate. It develops some fruitiness again in mid palate. Some fruitiness is evident underneath all of that, and then it finishes off kind of gently bitter. But the Brett yeast never quite leaves, that's for sure. This is very pleasant. Inspired by overall, I can see that. I mean, definitely. I mean, I get a strong sense of it from the nose and from the initial flavor. It kind of goes its own way a little bit after mid-palate and then final. But initially, yes, definitely, absolutely. So quite a good job here. I wouldn't say it's exactly a clone brew, but it's a very interesting, maybe a kind of homage towards Orval. If you've never had Orval, you definitely should. If you've never had this, and I'm sure you haven't because almost nobody has, go give it a try. You can order this online. If you live in Japan, you can get this quite easily. Go online to the Kyoto Brewing website. I assume they still have bottles of this left. It just came out recently. Once again, it's called Kyoto Brewing, Godspeed, Shinyu to no Kizuna, the bonds of friendship, with Brett yeast, 6%, 32 IBUs. Give it a go. Well, we're at the end of the 4 beers from the Golden Week beer set. Golden Week is the series of holidays that Japanese enjoy in early May. And this year it was kind of a subdued Golden Week. Nobody was traveling anywhere because of coronavirus. So Kyoto Brewing put out a nice 4-bottle Golden Week set for us, and I got one of those. And so we've looked at all 4 beers, and I got another set of beers from Kyoto Brewing, and I'll start looking at them next. Some interesting beers, some in their regular line and some very, very special beers as well. So I hope you watch those as well in the future. Please subscribe to the channel. If you do, then you will get regular updates. I tend to focus on Japanese craft beer, but I will do all kinds of beer, over time. So in beer books and beer events when we have them. So thank you very much for watching. Leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel. All right, bye-bye.